And good afternoon, officially, everyone. Thank you for your patience on our technical difficulties, but I was able to get through it. I'm not going to touch the computer anymore. I'm just going to start playing with some wonderful music, get these jitters off now that I'm all nerved up because it didn't work the way it was supposed to. So let me just open up with some music here. And that always calms the nerves. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Just take 3, take 4. All right. Thank you. Is that all right? Still sounds okay? Okay, now we can just play and have some fun here. I'm playing, I think in the email I said I was playing one of my favorite Lowrey virtual orchestras. That holds true for a lot of models. I know we say that. But this is a special instrument, and I know some of you know a little bit of the history, but the short story is that, back in 2020 was an unpleasant year for everyone, wasn't it? And at the beginning of the year, as we were looking at, before the pandemic actually really took control, we had other worries, and that was Lowrey had announced that they weren't building Lowrey organs anymore about a year before that. And as we were looking and seeking new ways to develop new products, between the 2020, the beginning of that, and where we're at now, we were like, well, we need some other product to stay in business, to sell high-end instruments and things that people would be interested and exciting about. And long story short, we partnered with Bill Curry, who is known as the grandfather of Lowrey. He's been designing, if you have a Lowrey instrument, all those presets and sounds and styles and everything in there is as a result of Bill Curry programming those for many years in the industry. And he was able to take a platform that we had, an existing platform, and take some of the best sounds and features from an instrument called the Lowrey Marquis. I don't know if you're familiar with that model. The Grand Marquis, the Aria, and what do they all have in common? They were the flagship models that Lowrey introduced before they stopped building them. So you're going to hear a lot of that. The style that I just played was, the song I played was Cabaret. The name of the style was called Cab-A-Ray, and it was originally programmed on the Lowrey Marquis. So it was kind of fun to have that in here. So keeping on and moving on, I'm gonna bring some music from time to time, but we have a lot of great music that you're going to hear today in a very short time. I mentioned the Marquis, when it was introduced, there were more innovations introduced on that model that I've ever seen in my, let's see, that was 15, so that would have been a little over 20 some odd years in the business by that point in time. And they had so many wonderful styles with sounds and the presets. And one of the styles that I really fell in love with was the style inspired by Glenn Campbell, the music of Glenn Campbell. and he had a lot of great fun hits. And the song that intrigued me, many songs, was called Gentle on My Mind. And he had, so we have a style called Mr. Gentle Mind, and it sounds something like this. Thank you, thank you. Oh, wow, the crowd. You guys are too good. So you were going to hear a lot of great music and styles and sounds from those models. I don't have a Marquis and Aria, but technically I have all the goodies from it. So it is a very special instrument when we have them. And continuing on, I mentioned Grand Marquis and Aria. So now what's really cool about these styles, and you might have heard us say this many times in the workshops and what have you. You know, there's a lot of styles that are a play on words. So I said that was called Mr. Gentle Mind was the name of the style. And most people know, oh, that might be great for Gentle on My Mind. The first song I played was Cabaret. The style is actually called cab, 2 words, array. But play on words. And what's cool about these styles is that when they were designing them, I think Bill was thinking 2 things. What would be a style of music, a song that someone would more than likely appreciate and love by many, and something that you can use for multiple songs. So you're not blocked into, this is the only song I can play with this rhythm style. When I heard that, that was a great finger-picking kind of a folk style, and I had all these songs going through my head. When the aria was introduced, they introduced, and the Grand Marquis, they introduced styles that were called real styles. And simply said, what that means, it's a rhythm style that's great, designed for a song, but rather than doing a play on words on the style, they actually named the style, the rhythm style, the name of the song. And so it's a rhythm style, but it's the name of the song, so there is no question. However, again, these styles are great for multiple songs. So I'm going to do a little medley here for this next style. This style was introduced on the Grand Marquis, and then obviously subsequently in the aria. And what I'm going to use from time to time, I have some books here. This, oh, you can't see that there. It says Symphony, Elite Songbook. And these are all the new styles that they introduced on the Symphony that was never before available on any model like this. And I'm going to just go to, let's see, Venus. Oh, there it is. I'm going to play a song called Venus. Are you familiar with the song Venus? I'm trying to remember the artist. Is that Frankie Avalon? Did I get that right? That'll give you time to Google it by the time I'm done. All right. Now, Venus, this is actually such a wonderful tune. When I heard this song and I was learning it, I started playing the song and, oh, this is so wonderful. And then I got this brilliant idea, and I said, when I listened to it, I said, boy, that is a gorgeous Latin style. It's almost like a bossa nova flavor sprinkled with a little rumba. So I'll play the song Venus, and then partway through, I'll just go and play another song that I think will work nicely with that in that same genre. So here we go. Venus, rhythm preset. Watch this, folks. Let's put on a little alto style or something like that. Change the preset. All right, wasn't that nice? Did you see that little trick I did with my nose? You too can, don't do this, I'm a trained professional, but I wanted to do that because I really knows what I'm doing. No extra charge, folks, no extra charge. I see Joni shaking her head. Yes, well, you know what? After all that drama with the computer, I needed something to get a laugh out of myself. And I'm my best audience. So, you know, Lowrey organs have been phenomenal over the years. And you're going to hear a lot of styles and sounds today. But one of the things that I really love, we all love, I'm assuming most of you have an organ with presets. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. If you don't have presets, you definitely want to put that on your wish list for down the road, because the more presets you have, it's like having a bunch of, you know, I have in my kitchen, I keep buying these recipe books. They're great recipes, you know, for all sorts of things. The problem is when you open it, there's all these things you have to do to make that recipe happen. That's the part I don't like. So luckily, my girlfriend moved with me, and she does all the recipes for me. But I always thought it would be great if I opened up the book and a recipe and I said, this is the one I want, and I touch it and magically it just made for me, right? Well, to me, presets are like recipes, but when you press it, it's instantly cooked for you and prepared. And it's prepared with the best sounds and the balances. And so I always tell students, the more recipes, more presets, recipes you have, use them. You may not use them all, but use them because you're going to find some delightful sounds in there. The more presets you have that are done for you, the more you have at your fingertips to enjoy and love the music you have. I don't have time to play all the recipes in here because there are thousands and thousands of setups in the Symphony, let alone the ones that are already there, plus all the additional ones. So I'm going to play one of my favorite groups. This is a group of presets that were taken from the top of the line, and it's got some of the great, really soothing vocal sounds. You're going to hear the breath of the flute. You're going to hear, you might even hear, what's his name, Kenny G and that saxophone that he played. Some really gorgeous 100 strings orchestra. It's just beautiful. Now what I'm going to do for this is I'm going to turn off all of the automatics, okay? And I'm just going to play it manually so you hear these sounds by itself as I go through them. And I'll kind of call out some of the sounds, or maybe I'll get caught up in music and forget to do it. But let's start off. This is actually, I remember when I heard this introduced on one of the flagship models. I heard Joni introduce, she was one of our artists that did it. And she loved these what they call like a stage choir oohs and what have you. And they're just so beautiful. Gives you chills. I'm getting chills just even thinking about it before I even play it. So here we go. I don't know why I lift my hand like that. If you ever have company over, just go like that. It looks fancy. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, whew, those are some gorgeous sounds. I'm hoping you're enjoying some of the music, song choices. Well, So let's talk a little about some other reasons why the marquee and aria is so wonderful. Well, in technology, there's a simple word called memory. And the more memory we have, one of the reasons why my computer locked up is when I got this computer, I wasn't expecting to do all this, the Zoom and online and stuff, what have you, and I really max out the memory. It had more memory, everything goes quicker, faster, I can do more, the processing speed, etc. In the musical world, the more memory it has, the more capability Bill Curry had to program styles and make those styles go a lot longer before they do what's called a loop, and make them more lifelike, like the songs and the styles. Now, this something might be a little bit before your time. Anyone familiar with the name Petula Clark? Show of hands. Okay, and if you're not, you may be familiar with the song Downtown, was one of her hit songs. So it's going to be hard to catch, but I don't want to mess it up while I'm playing, so I might just very quickly go like that or something like that, or here it comes, or and so I'm going to play the song Downtown, and you can listen for it. So, for example, there's a part of the song, you know, it plays through and it goes. And then it goes right here. Okay, that part there. When you hear that part, listen very closely to what's happening in the background. It's subtle. It's not going to be like what you normally would expect. Now, if you play your Lowrey instruments, I hope you and encourage to do this. You're playing a song, you get to a part of the song, sometimes you want to do a little fill to kind of give the band something different to do. Fills are traditionally not designed to be too long, because if you do, a lot of the styles start to loop and the fill just goes repeatedly, and it's not really intended to be held that long. Well, a lot of these new styles that were introduced in the marquee and the grand marquee and the aria, Bill put some hidden styles within the styles, so to speak. And in other words, if you hold the fill-in, what'll happen is it'll do a fill-in like that song did, and if you continue holding the fill-in, don't let go, it becomes a whole nother, what we call rhythmic pattern and arrangement, and the idea is that you continue to hold it. So while I'm playing, I'm going to hit my right foot switch for the fill-in, and I'm just going to keep holding it from here all the way down to the end of the song. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, about 16, 17 measures, and it sounds just like the original. So see if you can catch it when I do that. Here we go. so much fun with this. If you cut it at the end, it almost sounds like she's saying downtown at the very end. So very clever on Bill's part. Anyway, having some fun here today. You know what? I love my big band music. And when this was introduced on the marquee, over the years, when I first started in the business in '93, I was told, you better learn some big band tunes. Our customers love that. And over the years, I learned a lot of big band songs. And it got to a point where I was it felt complacent to me. In other words, I was trying to play different songs with some of the same big band styles. So when the marquee was introduced, they introduced this big band style. I thought, this is absolutely wonderful. And it was kind of like a modern day version of yesteryear's songs, but done with a modern twist. And obviously, this was inspired by the styling of Michael Bublé, who's done a lot of great hits. One of them is I've Got the World on a String. And his band, his arrangement, when I saw this on YouTube somewhere, it was just a classic big band. I think it was like 12 members. I can't remember exactly how many, but about that. Just a good old classic big band. And this is their version of this song. And so I thought it was pretty clever that Bill put this style on the marquee. And then I thought it was even more clever that he put it on the Lowrey Symphony. So here we go. Whew, gonna have some fun. And listen to the beginning. He does the voices where he kind of says, hey, Michael, come on, let's play. Here we go. So many wonderful sounds and styles. You know, it's really interesting. Some of us who've demonstrated a lot of marquees and arias, every time we play these things, I know Joni has, she owns one, so she knows. She always is sharing how amazing those sounds are and having those. And she'll say things like, you know, I think my symphony's better than this one and that one. And she'll say little things like that. So she's a little spoiled. To say the least, which is good. It's okay to be spoiled, right? And now I mentioned styles like organs like the aria. Well, when the aria was introduced, they really went, and it was kind of hard to believe because I thought when the marquee came out, how can they do any better? Again, more innovations on an instrument that I've ever seen or heard. But more importantly, the rhythm styles and the sounds and the way it was set up. So, you know, I'll play a couple of aria styles that I really fell in love with. Here's a style that you may be familiar with. It's inspired by the styling and the musician Ray Charles. I don't know if you're familiar with that name. Might be a little bit before your time. And he had, of course, a lot of great songs. And again, I'm going to show you what I'll do for this one. Again, these are styles that are perfect for the songs and that you're playing, but they can be used for so many others. So here's what I'll do. I'll have a little Ray Charles meets Louis Armstrong, and they get together and they play both of some of their great hits. So I'll start off. The song is called You Don't Know Me. So the style I'm going to use, again, this is a real style, is called You Don't Know Me. So they made that part very easy. And so I'll play it one time or two times through, and then partway through, what I'll do is I'll just switch and just play a whole totally different song with it. And watch how perfectly this works for a lot of the great music of that era. Here we go. Wrong button. Here we go. Listen to this bass. I had some fun there. I accidentally threw in an Elvis to be. I think he got jealous and he said I felt left out, so I had to throw him in there. Oh my goodness, I'm having a good time. Are you having fun? You enjoying the music? Oh, this is so great. So I thought I'd have a little fun here playing some other of my favorite presets in here. There's so many categories. There's just in the category setups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Plus, there's there's about several hundred just category presets in here. Absolutely wonderful. But some of my favorite ones are, I love these, what we call, this is like the symphonic coming into the instrument. And I want you to listen to this. First of all, I'll start off with this cello. And it's interesting because over the years, as Lowrey improved on the quality of the authenticity of the instruments, sometimes, believe it or not, I get a phone call thinking that something is wrong with the organ. And, so I say, tell me what you're doing, or I have them come in, or I go to the house and they'll show me, and then I have to explain to them that it's not broken. That's the way that sounds. And here's what I mean by that. If you listen to a saxophone, say a tenor sax, when they play, because of the range of that instrument and the way it's a woodwind, sometimes they blow it into it certain ways. It gives it little squeaks and personality traits that make that saxophone. If you listen to a trumpet, a lot of times a real trumpet player, they'll play and then they'll do something and it gives it up an octave and does this shake thing. A guitar, acoustic guitar, different than electric. When you're playing, sometimes when they're playing, they purposely slide their finger down. You hear these, what I call imperfections that make it that perfect. So when I start off with this cello, for example, this happened actually. This cello, you're going to hear as I'm playing, I'm going to purposely go down the keyboard, and as I further down I go, as it gets to certain notes, you could really hear how the string resonates, and it comes through a little bit differently than the other notes. What they did with the sound quality on this and re-engineering the sounds with all of these new presets and rhythm styles and presets and what have you, Bill wanted to accomplish making it as lifelike as possible. So you're going to hear some of the sounds from a symphony orchestra. We'll start off with a cello. You'll hear some bassoons, some beautiful strings, maybe some pizzicatos, and notice how authentic these sounds are. Let's start with the cello here, shall we? Oh, some gorgeous sounds. I don't know if you heard those choirs in there with a string combination. Oh, so much fun. I'm having some fun. I love this instrument so much. Anyway, so I've got a couple more songs I want to play for you here. And this one here is, it's just a phenomenal style. Especially, you know, what are we, almost forgot what month we are, May. Usually when we play holiday or Christmas songs around this time of year, but when I get a chance to show off the style, I like to. This style is an amazing style, but you can use it two ways. So what I'm going to do is use it the second way, and then I'm going to tell you what the style is, and then I'll play what it's designed for. Most people don't catch on to or don't figure it out. There's a reason for it because, again, these styles are perfect for those songs, but you can use them for others. So I'm going to play a classic hit there that I learned many years ago. And let me just put it on and put a little rhythm preset here. Okay, and then we'll see if you, but not the staff, we'll see if my students can tell what the name of the rhythm is. Because usually you could kind of figure out the style and what the name of the song is in reverse. But let's see, I might be able to stump you. Hopefully I will. Now, you probably know the name of the song. Any guesses? What was the name of the song? I can't hear you. I'm reading your lips. It must, I think what you're saying is, I left my heart in San Francisco?
Correct.
Nodding yes. Okay. Yes, that was the name of the song. But the name of the style, you ready for this? The name of the style is called the Christmas song. I got some funny looks, which was my intent. So this style is called the Christmas song. So if I really play the Christmas song, I should say Nat King Cole's version. I've heard every version I've heard of this. From way back up until even the recent years, everyone does a phenomenal version of this. But I really fall in love with Nat King Cole's version. And if you remember Nat King Cole when he did this, the arrangement, the band they had, I call them swooning strings. You'll hear them. I might play it once or twice when you hear it. And at the end of the song, when they were done, you heard a little bit of the guitar player play a little bit of the jingle bells in there. But here's the same style, okay? And here's what you heard. And then I played the song. But now that was using intro 2 on here. Now I'm going to put on intro 1 and play the exact same style, but only I'll play the song according to the music here. Now listen. the arrangement. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, woo. I think you should all have a symphony. I've got to finish up with one song. I see, let's see, Joni, Joe, we have Daniel, my new guy, we had Gail on. You know, these guys and gals, they work hard, don't they? It's actually, what time is it in Florida? Just about 5, just past 5? All right, so we'll get back to that. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining. I got a fun number I'm going to dedicate to my hard-working staff. They work hard, don't they? See, I got them to say yes. So, so I have a song I'm going to dedicate to the team here. But first I want to thank you for being such great students, great customers, and your patronage and all the business that you've given us over the years or months, depending on how long you've been involved in the hobby. But I do want to tell you, we have a unique opportunity on the Lowrey Symphony, as when this model was originally introduced in 2020, we were very limited in the amount of symphonies that we could create, because it all wrapped around how many of instruments we had in the same platform. So there aren't hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these in existence. And we go back and forth from time to time. We go back and forth from time to time where sometimes we'll have no symphonies, and sometimes we'll get 2 or 3, and then sometimes we'll go back to no symphonies and back and forth. And it's kind of an unfun game, but it's the way of life. It makes it very, very special. So a couple things. First of all, this is a product that we have less than a handful in our entire company between Florida and Arizona. I believe there's 2 maybe floating around in Florida, the same in Arizona. And it's a way of getting some of the best styles and sounds and features from really models that were very expensive, and rightfully so. And we have some of those available. So a couple things that's happening. Number one, we have some very special loyalty pricing for our customers that have been very loyal to us. And number two, I actually have, it's rare that we do these nowadays. We did a lot during the pandemic. But when I can get one that's right for Fletcher Music and my customers, I'll do it. So I have a situation where circumstance that presented us, and basically we have one in stock that's in consignment, and that particular one is available at really a fraction of our normal cost. So if you ever dreamed, boy, I'd love to have a flagship model, but with a very economical pocketbook or wallet, now's a good time on what we have. So I would definitely reach out to your personal assistant, find out the details. I'm going to encourage the personal assistants to contact you as quickly as possible to let you know how special it is. And then that one particular unit, we have an even much more special pricing on it. Again, I want to thank you so much. I'm going to finish off with one number. Just the title of the song is really the dedication. But it's a song called 9 to 5. Since it's 5 o'clock, you got to punch out, right? But wait, I got to play the song for you. Really, for the Fletcher staff, we should call it work at 9 to 5, and then 9 to 5 again from a.m. in the morning to p.m. to me, p.m. to we work 24/7, right? By the way, this style, Bill Curry was very clever. I heard a little sort of an interview, if you will, of Dolly Parton, and they tie it into the Apple Watch and walking and fitness, and they have all these stars that talk, and you can listen to them. And she's telling a story of her life in less than 30 minutes, little significant things, and she was talking about the song. And she said that when she recorded the song, she wanted the illusion of the typewriter in the beginning, so she used her nails. And she said, when I heard it, she says, if you go in the album, you know, it says words and music by and it says nails by Dolly Parton. So I'm going to have to look that up. I keep saying that, but supposedly that's what it says on the album. So Bill didn't have nails to work with, but he did take a sound effect and make it sound like it was her nails in the original song. So this is to you guys working 9 to 5 to 8 to 7 to 12 to all wee hours at night in the morning. And for our students, thank you so much. Here we go, a little 9 to 5. Let me put on, oh, I got to push the 9 to 5. Oh, the style's called 9 to 5, so that makes it easy too. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed this wonderful Zoom musical presentation. My favorite Lowrey Symphony, everybody. Woo!
Thank you.
Thank you. Go talk to your PAs for the heck of it, for the fun of it. You deserve it. Thank you so much. Stay safe. Keep playing music. And mwah!